if I
What
say,
are we on?
what are you on? I am on
Oh,
Via Moretti.
Authentica.
Yeah, but I've not also been unknown to stick very horrible beer in here and go Via Moretti.
That's what you're doing, isn't it?
It's Kronenberg.
Good work.
But this is the last one. Once it's gone, I've bought, especially when I was talking to you tonight, I bought some Via Moretti. Proper bottles. Big boy stuff.
Good work.
So, Benny, what are we talking about? Wanda.
We've got it. Yeah, we've got it, haven't we?
We have to. I have my plot, which was yeah.
Is this what you? Is it what you thought were going to happen?
No. So when I left episode 7, I had this. I rewatched the Falcon and Winter Soldier trailer, and I just had this epiphany, probably drunken epiphany. And
all the best ones are.
They are, and it just everything fitted. It just I played out in my head, and it was really, really cool. And then it all hinged on how WandaVision episode 8 finished, which has kind of ruined everything for me. But with the small post-credit scene at the end, where she's in
first one or second one?
Second one, where she's in the hut, she's doing her kind of with the dark hole.
Doctor Strange impression.
Yeah, I like that as well. It's a great callback to Doctor Strange and his kind of speed learning of sorcery as such. I love that.
Because it's out there now in MCU that she's more powerful.
Yeah, stated. Yeah, she's in the dark hold. Apparently, she is more powerful than the Scarlet Witch. Which
more
is
powerful than Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting the impression as well, and I don't know. Again, I think if anybody does watch this, there needs to be a relatively understanding from the start that my knowledge of Marvel is okay, pretty good. I've been relatively immersed in it, but from a very X-Men centric point of view.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I'm playing catch up on certain events,
which is cool because I'm playing catch up on everything.
Yes, which is which can some people will find funny, I would imagine, and other people will be furious. And I've also, after our conversation we had the other night, what are you drinking, by the way? I've just noticed you canned. What is that?
This is Brewdog from Cartier.
Oh, yes. I've heard about that. I've been recommended that as well. I was told even the non-alcoholic one's nice, but I ignored that. Why?
Ignore that.
Yeah. After our last conversation that we had the other day, I left it not so black in the background, but now I look like the world's biggest Captain America fan. I'm more like, he's all right. But I've got plans on my wall as of today. I'm not going to tell you. You just have to.
It's just going to grow, is it?
You wait. I have plans. But yeah. It's going to be good. I need to. The feature wall in my room is here. Obviously, I'm facing it. I have all of my I'm a big Lego fan, and I just have Lego everywhere, and it looks amazing. But you can't see it. You just get my.
I don't want to see it.
You get the dark corner.
I just want to see your dark corner covered in Captain America paraphernalia.
It is. This is basically everything I have. So, what's happening? What's happening next?
So,
that's the question.
What? With who? With what? With when? So there's half a dozen what's happening next questions for me. What's happening next with Wanda, obviously.
Mhm.
Which I think it's widely known that she's going to be the villain in Doctor Strange 2.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
And it's been every theory coming through WandaVision from people in the know that turned out knew nothing. Weren't that at all. There were lots of Nightmare, lots of Mephisto, lots of... there were even nutcases out saying it was Umar.
Yeah, I'd heard, I had heard the faint rumblings that
The singular nutcase.
yeah, I'm not going to point fingers right now.
I will. I'm happy to.
Yeah, it didn't happen, did it?
No.
Didn't happen at all.
No, but actually, what he did do is it made perfect sense for what everybody else seemed to forget, that she was going to be the main villain in. She was going to be the key to opening up the multiverse.
Yeah.
And people, I think it were more expected that it was going to be deeper and darker than what we've been shown so far. I think it's about to get really dark.
Yeah.
That'd be my guess. That in that final post credit, when she can hear Tommy and Billy,
Yeah, that's haunting.
it's going to get dark at that point. It's got to get dark at that point. Which, go on.
Are they just where are these voices coming from, in your opinion? I mean, are these voices in her
It's not her
memory, or are we still? Is there still a hint of Mephisto?
So my question there is her speed learning her? Because we saw her on the balcony, on the porch of that hut, walk in grey tracksuit to see a fully Scarlet Witch dressed Elizabeth Olsen. Speed learning.
Yeah.
And we know from when Strange did. But that's not necessarily her hearing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm with you.
She would drinking hot chocolate on porch.
Exactly. Yeah. I think it's
unless that weren't hot chocolate and that was straight whiskey, and she really is seeing all kinds of stuff.
Smashing it back, learning in the back room, banging about whiskey, popping over to the lake for a little bit of a paddle. She's got a big...
Absolutely. What a way to live.
She's got a pedalo shaped like a swan. She comes on, does a couple of laps.
That's her daily exercise. After all, she's in lockdown.
Pops back. Just checks on pops her head in. How's the learning going? Absolutely fantastic. Pops out, gets on a Segway. Goes on a little Segway tour. I've gone off.
Pops right in. How's the learning going? Absolutely smashing. I'm through chapter 3 at Darkhold.
Did well.
So yeah, I think so. There's still that bit of I don't know where she is to be learning to know where the voice is coming from. If that's a version of in what would have been the mirror realm in Strange, if that's her version of that, then it's got to be hearing that in the current MCU, because it's a direct mirror of what's happening. So it's got to be hearing it there. Now, if she's even in her mind, I mean, bless her, it's a bit of trauma she's gone through in the last 2 months.
Small bit. But she does have a swan pedalo.
I mean, every cloud and all that.
Yeah.
Every cloud does have a silver lining.
Nothing. And there's no issue that isn't solved by a swan.
Correct.
So
my guess is it's in one. She's hearing it in her head. She knows she's hearing it in her head in another realm that she's learned to create in Darkhold.
Yeah.
And she goes looking for it because she doesn't believe it's in her head.
Sure.
Because it were only days ago that these voices were real for her.
And it's important. I think it's important. I know we're kind of talking about just this small voice bit, but it's actually quite important because there's a piece beforehand where Monica, she talks to Monica at the end. They discuss how Monica would do the same. I would bring my mother back if I had your power. I would do the same thing. And as a viewer, you'd do the same, right? Because I thought about my daughter, other people, everyone that's important to you, and going, okay, of course I would. It's the reason I felt myself getting upset when they did the tucking into bed scene.
And, let's be honest. And let's be honest, that episode for me was the most humanly written of any of them.
Yeah, you should have seen it coming though. Just that one-liner for episode 7, where they're in Avengers compound.
Complex, yeah.
And she's sat with the Vision.
Yeah.
And he delivers that line, and it's just like, whoa. That's a great line.
It is.
Yeah, so, maybe we should have seen it coming. There's deeper things ahead, guys.
And it was spectacular writing. And it was spectacularly delivered by Olsen in particular.
She's great.
If there isn't an Emmy on her way, there's definitely an Emmy nomination on her way.
Mm-hmm. And if we're talking her, we have to talk. I mean, Bentley's he was just brilliant. He just is brilliant. And I love what he's done, by the way. Yeah. I love his thing. Yeah. Have you seen the interview? You sent it to me, didn't you? You sent it to me.
Yeah. And I've seen where he's sheepishly going, I thought it was going to be funny.
Yeah, probably shouldn't have done this. Yeah, that was brilliant. But Catherine Hahn, I mean,
brilliant.
You get to the point now where I think we can do away with the nightmare, do away with Mephisto, do away with all that stuff. It might happen. I don't know about the nightmare stuff, but I think Mephisto, there's still potential for that. But you have to look back in retrospect and go, she was great.
Oh yeah, completely
brilliant, and she held that, and she was strong enough to be the main villain. And I feel almost that maybe some people, I don't know, I'm just assuming now, might have come away feeling maybe a little bit underwhelmed,
because they wanted it to be a big bad. They wanted it to be a big MCU baddie villain. They wanted it to be. They wanted it to be a Thanos. They wanted it to be a Loki, and forgetting, of course, that all of the MCU titles don't have a Thanos or a Loki.
No,
some of them have Ben Kingsley.
Exactly, who turns out to actually not even be the person he's pretending to. Yeah, I mean, a ghost in Ant-Man 2. I think she was really good. Don't get me wrong, but
Ghost in Ant-Man 2 was phenomenal in fairness, but it's not a huge name. It's not a huge. It's not a big bad.
No,
it's just a good villain. It's just a good villain and delivered brilliantly.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I would say my advice would be to anybody who any naysayers of the fact that Catherine Hahn, the obviously Agatha, turns out to be the villain, they'll just watch it again. Like watch the series now with no expectation of any of this main villain to come back. Watch it knowing that that Agatha is the main antagonist in this series, and I think you'll be like,
it stitches together beautifully.
She's brilliant. She can hold it. She's good, and she's coming back, man. She's coming back. Well, they haven't done away with her. I think she will be Scarlet Witch will go back and use her as a help me learn witchcraft.
Well,
Something at
well,
some, or she can if they don't.
Arguably, what Scarlet Witch did to Agatha is the cruelest part
I mean, it's horrible.
of what Scarlet Witch did. That was cruel because she told us she would keep her there forever and
Yeah.
ever and ever in a monotonous cycle that she knew she'd never be able to break because of a bit of magic that she taught her.
Yeah, she hasn't learned a lot of magic, has she?
No, and
but she uses what she knows.
But then by getting rid of the hex, she's freed her like that. She's got to have.
Mm.
Everybody else became free. So she's got to be free. So now she's back to being Agatha.
How do you think?
Not. She can't be the watered down Agnes because she's now out of the hex. The hex doesn't exist.
Or is she in a hex? A small hex?
In her own little hex.
A mini hex. Like, imagine, if you will, the little orange eggs you get inside a Kinder Surprise. It has a toy.
I'm imagining.
Yeah, that's where she is. She's in a red hex egg. and every now and again, Scarlet Witch will go back and just pop that egg open.
Yeah.
Get a bit
it'll be one of the little turtles that were in them when we were kids.
The teeny tiny terrapins.
Yeah.
Yeah, with on the deck chair. Yeah.
Something on hand.
Yeah. That was back. That's when they changed. That's when they changed from being able to build something plastic and horrible.
Yeah.
But really cool.
To genuine ornaments that you could end up putting on your grandma's fireplace.
Yeah. Also, that you'd a little ornament that you'd wrap up in some kitchen roll and give it to your mum for Mother's Day because you couldn't afford a present at the time because you were too young.
Correct.
I did it last year.
I'm doing it this year. But instead of it being a little teeny tiny,
not what I'm drinking.
It's gonna be Agnes. That'll confuse her.
Yeah.
So yeah, but she's got to be because that hex doesn't exist anymore. So unless she's put her in a little Kinder Surprise egg, and she's proven by removing the hex, she's not that cruel.
I like that. It's interesting.
But she was quite happy to just mess with her head with it.
It does show a very sadistic side of her.
Yeah, it does.
But isn't it the crazy thing about her is that there's times in which they display her as calculated. She's calculated. She's quite she's quite calm, and she's the fact that she used her runes against her and stuff like that. They play her off as this, but on the other hand, they're playing her off as this just emotionally broken person that I don't know what I'm doing. Don't blame me. I'm just emotional right now, and it's I don't know. I don't know which one she is, or is she? But
they touched on genuine mental health problems caused by trauma, and in the real world, that's what you've seen on screen. The same kind of reactions and actions.
Yeah.
It makes sense. It just makes sense that they do that. But then the biggest question I've got, genuinely, the biggest question I've got is in the library.
Oh, is this Cluedo?
White Vision.
With the lead piping.
Formerly Grey Vision. Well, that's White Gandalf, formerly Grey Gandalf, isn't it? I'm
Yeah.
mixing in franchises.
I got my hues wrong. All right, got my shades wrong. I thought he was grey. He's white.
So
I said grey for years though. I've been mugging myself
Yeah.
for years, by the way.
hey, you were X-Men expert, not a West Coast Avengers expert.
Exactly.
So, but when Vision and Vision are doing their best Spider-Man meme
Double vision.
impression,
Yep.
double vision, if you would, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he convinces him that they're both not Vision and both Vision.
Yep.
And he disappears through sunroof.
Yeah.
Odd place to put a sunroof in top of a library. Where's he gone?
Well, that's the question, right?
Has he gone on? I've got one of about 17 theories on this.
Go on. I bet it's not. I bet it doesn't match my one theory.
So I bet it doesn't. You're right. So one is
you going through all 17?
No, just a couple of them.
Okay.
In reality, there might be 9. One is just blew his mind and flew off because he didn't then think that Red Vision was the vision that he needed to annihilate.
Yep.
So therefore, he had to go and complete his mission somewhere else. He realised that he was Vision, so to complete his mission, his protocols, his programming, he had to go and kill himself.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, that did cross my mind. I'm not gonna lie. He's almost convinced him.
And this is my slightly further out one, based on the fact that, and this, if I'm honest, this started to build a little bit after the end credit scene in episode 7, when I thought, wow, doesn't grey, white Vision look like Silver Surfer?
Oh, no. Yeah. No.
Because all they did was go up. And if you keep going up, eventually you're going to bump into a spaceship with Fantastic Four on.
I like it. I mean, if you're gonna, yeah.
Full circle. See?
All right. Yeah. All right. I'll give you that for what I would like to see.
Poetic license.
Yeah. So you don't think that?
Then Paul Bettany becomes Silver Surfer, and we get Paul Bettany for another.
I don't know. As much as
it's not his
voice would suit it. The calmness of
Liam Neeson. I want Liam Neeson to be it.
Oh.
Casting Fantastic Four has got to be a different conversation altogether, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it does, because I'm thinking now, and I'm just straight off of WandaVision.
So where do you think White Vision's gone?
I've got 2 theories. Both of them are wrong and ridiculous, but I'll tell you anyway.
My kind of theories.
One of them is he is convinced that he's half the Vision and half not the Vision, so he goes away and just destroys his legs.
Brilliant.
He's now just a flying top half of a person.
Torso.
That's what I was going to go with, torso. Second, and you can decide whether you think this is more or less ridiculous than option 1. He actually turns himself, because he with his metamorphosis, into the white swan peddler that Scarlet Witch uses to pedal around the lake. So they're always together.
In fairness, that's got more legs than my Silver Surfer theory.
I think so. I think there'll be more comments on #Vision is-a-pedalo than #Vision is the Silver Surfer.
Vision is a peddler. I
think so.
I mean, the other one, of course, is we saw Red Vision touch his secret special spot and give him a little bit of the essentially some of the Infinity Stone power. but not all of it, because it were only momentarily flash of yellow, weren't it? But
yeah.
crucially,
Either way, he's given him some emotions. He's given him some memories and almost like a download, an upload. Here's
but,
do with it what you will.
But I think he's done more than that, because he's got real eyes now.
Right.
In the last part of that scene, before he went through the sunroof up to meet Fantastic Four, is his eyes became non-metallic.
Yeah, much more vision-like.
Human eyes.
Humanized. Nice.
Thanks. So I think in reality it's none of them theories, and he's going to reappear as in Strange or in Spider-Man the as Vision.
Yeah.
Who is now white.
I don't know where I am.
A real version of a repurposed version of Vision, if you will.
I would like to see him more as White Vision. He looks kick-ass, doesn't he? I mean, he does. Wicked.
He does.
And it's his thing, his chip. Yeah, it does. I'm not wrong in saying that it looks a little bit like Tony Stark's.
It does.
Yeah.
Particularly as it stayed blue.
Yeah. I'd like to see him more. I don't know where I'm at with it. Because he's flown away, and it feels. I won't lie. I felt a little bit like it had a lot of potential for another Marvel loose end. So he goes away. He might never come back. We might just not see him again. And if you look at him from, because I like to let's not think of the character, but think of the actors and stuff.
Do you mean like Liv Tyler?
Hmm?
Do you mean like Liv Tyler?
Yes.
Remember when Liv Tyler was lead lady in one of Phase 1 and then never seen ever again?
Wow. Yeah. Well, Betty Ross.
What's she doing? Yeah. What's she doing? I suspect we'll see a little bit more. I suspect we're going to see a little bit more of her.
Yeah. I mean,
Thunderbolts are coming out there.
Well, yeah. You think the Thunderbolts will be coming? I think so. Yeah. They're. I mean, they're planning that now, aren't they? Let's be honest. They're doing that now. I think
absolutely.
And I think Falcon and Winter Soldier are going to be a huge part of that.
They will be.
From an actor's perspective, I look at it and go, how it's got to be a lot harder for someone like Bettany, Zoe Saldana, Karen Gillan, isn't it? What's the surname? Gillan, yeah.
Gillan, yeah.
It's got to be a lot harder for them to sit through the amount of makeup. Dave Bautista as well as Drax. The amount of makeup, prosthetics, all that sort of stuff. It's got to be a lot harder for them to sit there, get painted right up to the nines.
Yeah.
I would do it because I'm a Marvel fan, and I would be like, just do what you want. If I can be in it, I'll paint me up as an alien. I'll be an extra.
Are you suggesting that you are going to be Gamora in the next?
I could be.
Thor 4.
Sure.
Oh.
Well, you saying I couldn't?
You could, in as much as I could be Drax.
I mean, you could be Drax.
Oh yeah, wait on a minute.
You keep your head. You're like Jesus.
This is ego.
Look at it. Here you go, mate. You could be a stunt double for Dave Bautista. I'm telling you. Have you done any wrestling?
KY jelly wrestling.
Doesn't count.
Then no.
Doesn't count because the paddling pool you were using was too small. It's a junior.
It's the biggest one to do.
They will only let you buy so much KY though, right?
Yeah.
Have we gone off topic?
Do you know what really pissed me off? I'm bringing it back on, and I don't think this is related. But
go on.
Why did Darcy only have 5 words? The whole episode.
Who?
Darcy.
Yeah.
And where
Yeah.
was she at end?
Well, last time we saw her, prior to that, was at episode 6, if I'm not mistaken. She was in the van with Vision, and he went off to the roof and
then
had an epiphany.
And the next thing, she's still in that van.
So she finally got past the lines of kids.
Yeah, crashed into Haywood.
Mm-hmm.
Never seen again. So yeah, crashed into Haywood, and then nothing. Says, "Hope you enjoy prison."
That is true, actually. She does that one-liner, and then even at the end, when Wu turns around and says, well, where is she? It was almost a lame line as to, oh, she doesn't like to hang around for... And I was like, really? She seems like she's got a lot to say.
Debriefings for losers or something.
I mean, it sounds like something she would say, but I also kind of get the impression that she quite likes the limelight. Right?
Yeah, it were.
So there's something more. There's something more to that.
Whether she likes the limelight or not, she would definitely want to see Haywood in handcuffs being led away by a FBI. Definitely.
I don't know.
And yeah, it annoyed me.
Well, I can concur, because I don't think, because she was brought in, right? So she has no historical knowledge of Haywood, right? So
no,
to my knowledge, right?
Not that we know.
No,
not that we know.
So she's brought in, and because she's
what I don't know is, I'm assuming that because she's now a proper doctor within her field, she didn't disappear in the snap. She would have studied for them 5 years that she weren't. So she could have had an interaction with Haywood if Haywood's heading up Sentinel Weapons.
Yeah, potentially, yeah.
So potentially in that 5 years, she could have, but we don't know that. We don't know.
So are we essentially overthinking Darcy? Does it not really matter where she was or what she was doing, because she's cool, don't get me wrong. She was great, a great character. I'm pleased they brought her back, because I love when they do that, like just bring someone back and it's just an ace. But is she ultimately like? Does it really matter where she is, where she went?
Well,
I'm more interested in Monica, and they kind of built her up, and then she's just got a bigger story elsewhere, right? Let's be honest. And
let's be honest, this is what this has done is WandaVision as a whole, this 5.5 hours worth of content. It's given us White Vision, Photon, Wiccan, Speed, Agatha Harkness. It's introduced us to Sentinel Weapons. It's given the heads up that the Fantastic Four are somewhere.
Yeah, and don't forget the Darkhold. Just introducing the Darkhold as a book.
Completely introducing Darkhold and reintroducing Skrulls in a major way.
Of course, and don't forget Herb.
And Herb.
Yeah, and Wu, because Wu was great.
Completely. Even I mean, there were a lot of things in that final episode, but I would think I was most excited when he got out of the handcuffs.
Yeah.
I was sat there and I'm like, he learned that from Ant-Man. Did
you at any point there, when he took that phone off the side?
Yeah.
There was a police officer. There was a man. He was clearly dressed in all the garb. Clearly got, and you just first thing you thought was, how's he not seen that? And if it was you, would you not go, he's just picked up a phone? I just saw it. He's just picked up your phone.
And who would you go right now? And who right now, anywhere in the world, doesn't have a code to get into the phone? Who's you ringing?
Face recognition.
Plot holes.
It'd be like that. No, it don't work.
Yeah.
It's face recognition, nothing.
Sorry, pal, you're not here, Wood.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no. But he's awesome. I tell you what. Have you ever seen? I'm going to assume you have. You know, Marvel did the little one shots that they kind of introduced at the very, very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't done it very long, as far as I'm aware. But they did one with Coulson, Agent Coulson, when he's in his supermarket. He's on his way from Iron Man, I believe Iron Man 2 scenario. He leaves, and then he's on his way to where Thor.
New Mexico.
Yeah.
He's on his way to New Mexico to find the hammer, isn't it?
Yeah. And they do a
I haven't seen it.
Have you not?
No.
So it's a very small clip, and he's in a like a small petrol station-y shop type. You can imagine exactly what you're thinking is what it is.
Yeah.
And it gets held up, and he just does some kickassery with chucking a bag of flour and all this stuff. And it's the first time you turn around, you see Coulson, who's very mainstream. He's very English, if anything. He's just very, it's the first time you see him kick ass. This is before Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., before any of that existed. And it's the first time you go, oh, yeah, he can actually handle himself. So he's not just this stiff guy in a suit. That's what I wanted from Wu. I wanted him to kick someone's ass. That's what I wanted.
And I think we're going to get that. I think if one of us has done a couple of things, it's told Big Kev that people want to see more of Wu and want to see more of Darcy.
Is Wu the new Coulson? Could Wu be the new Coulson? Coulson was a hit. Like Coulson's one of those phenomenals. I have Burton. You're gonna have to expect this kind of thing. He was. No one saw that coming with Coulson.
No,
I loved him. I don't know why. You loved it. Everyone loved it.
Yeah.
And I love Wu. I love him. The moment he flicked his card out and did that magic trick,
I were in. I was in.
Yeah.
Completely and utterly in. Got me.
So could he, if Marvel play it right, is he the new Agents of Wu?
There was Agents of Wu.
Thank you.
Brilliant. So there was a big rumour, weren't there?
A rumour
that
the
internet went wild for it. A spin-off of Agent Wu and Darcy Lewis doing an X-Files style Marvel show. Okay. And they just disappear and investigate the real mini spots out of the darkest, smallest corner of comics.
Right. So
just a bit of a
being the more policey,
and
her being the more.
Show. And that's the show. The FBI agent and the doctor. And
I'd probably watch it.
I definitely would.
But it'd have to be good, mind.
Would it?
Yeah, it'd have to be good.
It won't matter.
Go on.
What if every couple of episodes you got introduced to a minor X-Men celebrity that's never going to be part of the lineup? Do you know what I mean? And I think there's loads of these little characters in comics that you can go and meet, and they just happen to be there.
It's more like Mara or Maggot. Yeah.
I just think there's loads of stuff they can do here.
But would it ever be canon though?
It wouldn't. Yes, it would be, but it'd be so far removed that it wouldn't need to be. It'd happen in the MCU, and it'd be characters that has no plan for MCU. Just let's be honest, Big Kev's got a 20-year plan here.
Yeah.
And the characters that he wants to use will be. They're not infinite, but there's a bloody lot of them. probably too many to use. Too many to use in as much as Hammer Industries have had half of an Iron Man film.
Yeah. You're on
If they can throw away that in half an Iron Man film, then they've got too many characters.
Hey, look, they did the same with AIM
So far.
Yeah.
That's Black Widow, isn't it?
Hey?
AIM's Black Widow, isn't it?
Hey,
That's a different conversation.
I don't know.
That's a different conversation.
Yeah. How far have we strayed off of WandaVision right now?
Well, I was just about to bring it back.
Go on, back to the normal. We went off on one with Wood.
Were you horrifically disappointed with Monica's post-credit scene, or were you massively excited by it?
I shouted "scroll" before she changed.
Yeah.
You did too, right?
Yeah.
I knew you would. Because let's be fair.
Although I got it wrong.
Go on.
When she was wanted in the theatre, I thought she was going to walk in to some Skrulls.
I thought she was going to walk into Nick Fury. Skrull.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. He was going to be there.
So when she said, "You want him in the theatre," I turned and I said to Kate, "Fury or Skrulls?"
Yeah, both. Fury, Skrull, the one from Spider-Man.
Talos?
Yes, Talos. But I read, and this is the bit where me and you aren't going to be a source of anything good for people.
I can wing it though.
We're just going to be two people that talk about stuff.
Cool.
I read
hey, that if you get enough monkeys with typewriters, they're going to come up with gold there. We are those monkeys.
That is okay. I'm happy with that. I read that WandaVision happened before Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. So this was WandaVision with 3 weeks after.
Yeah.
Second snap. And Spider-Man starts during the second snap.
Mm-hmm.
Because you see them all clash into each other on the basketball court and stuff, don't you?
Yes.
But then by the time they hit Europe, it's about 5 months later.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, because Monica has the hospital scene, which was really well done, wasn't it?
Which means, and this is the bit that I'm really getting confused at, which sets up perfectly the idea that when Mysterio and Fury and Peter Parker were in the underground lab, and Hill's there, and they're asking for his help, and he says, "Where's Captain Marvel? Off-world. Where's Thor? Off-world. Doctor Strange, busy." Well, he is going to be busy because he's going to have Wanda to compete with, and that could fall in line with timeline. Except Spider-Man 3 is released before Doctor Strange.
Right. Okay. Because that's what I was going to say. This is where it gets interesting, because a lot of the things that I've been looking at, a lot of things I've been reading, the stuff I've been thinking to myself would be really cool, even though I know it's unlikely. It is all very dependent on what film comes out and what order, depending on also the series, what they come out. So, it's very dependent on all of that.
So the very first slating was WandaVision in the spring,
and
the next title to be released was Doctor Strange.
Right.
That was the original slating. Now that's obviously wildly different now. Because
hugely, yeah.
coronavirus and pushing things, moving things around. So what we and what that could have done then is that could have landed before Sony slate theirs, which means Spider-Man can realistically come after Doctor Strange.
Yep.
But now, I don't know. So unless there's a scene where Doctor Strange has been on holiday, not in Venice,
Right.
and that's why he's busy for that period when in Spider-Man 2.
Are we still saying then that Wanda will create the multiverse?
Yeah.
Are we saying that she's
No.
done it yet?
So,
Are
sorry,
we saying that she will after she's read the Darkhold?
I don't think she's done it yet. I'm not saying she alone will do it, but she will be part of it. And the reason why I think she'll be part of it, and this comes back to what next for Agatha,
Mm-hmm.
and your theory of you think she's going to come back and get to teach her more and mirror that comic mentor.
Yes. Yeah. Why not? Yeah.
It makes perfect sense. Is there's still the line, you can do that when Agnes is holding a dead Sparky and they're talking about bringing people back from the dead. You can do that? There's a genuine surprise. There's a genuine shock. And that can't just be around her knowledge of what Scarlet Witch can do. There was more to the look. There was more to how that line was played.
She was learning. She was learning about Wanda as much
completely.
Yeah.
Completely. And so who does Agatha want bringing back? And
Are we going for Mephisto?
I mean, yeah, why not?
Does it
Yeah,
seem
why not?
too- does it
Let's
seem
put it
too-
there. Let's put it there. Yeah, let's assume it's a Mephisto. And what that then means is she needs help doing that. Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's when Wanda and Agatha re-meet. I'll complete your learning.
Little pedalo ride
Yeah.
together.
This pedalo is now a two-seater pedalo.
Two-seater pedalo
And
around the lake.
yeah, and Agatha's hand holding and filling in the real life magic as opposed to just the theory that she's read.
So she might
In
she's go
exchange,
across the T's, dot the I's of the Darkhold, basically.
cross the T's, dot the lowercase J's of the Darkhold. Great Wayne's World 2 reference there.
Mhm.
And in exchange to bring her loved one back. And all that'll happen in the first 15-20 minutes of Doctor Strange 2. And that loved one will be Mephisto.
I like that. We haven't talked about the person that I wrongly thought might crop up,
Go.
because you have held your hands up to
Uma.
Umar. Well done. It's big of you. It's the biggest gesture I've seen from someone that looks this much like Dave Bautista.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I went for Mordo. Did I not? We haven't seen him, did we? We haven't seen him since Doctor Strange. End credits. He doesn't like sorcerers. Blah blah blah. And I kind of just thought it's the one person that people aren't talking about. And I think they can do your devils in the details, all that business, and of course all of it is an absolute. What they wanted you to believe all along, I swear, what they were trying to get you to believe was that Mephisto would turn up. I don't think they just put these things in. I think there's a reason that they reference the devil and stuff like that. There's no need to. If you think about it, it has nothing. It's all about witchcraft. It's nothing to do with devilry.
Devil's in the detail is a great throwaway line.
Yeah.
What makes you believe it is that's not all it is. It's that follow-up line. Your glass is remarkable.
Huh. Do you remember Thor and Doctor Strange?
I mean, I just loaded up before I got here.
Yeah, but Mordo didn't turn up anyway. But Mordo is on the cast list.
He is.
For what Doctor Strange 2.
Confirmed as well, I think.
So
Big Kev himself has confirmed it, I'm sure he has.
Yeah. But I've seen lots of strange people coming into that one. Excuse the pun. Lots of, there's been, Tom Holland is there, and I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he was. I don't know in what aspect, but if the multiverse is going to be solved by Doctor Strange, potentially, if he's going to be part of helping sort it out, I think it won't be just him. I don't think he's strong enough. I think he'll turn Scarlet Witch.
Mordo will help you.
More. Oh, okay. See, my thinking was that that Scarlet Witch will be the antagonist, but by the end of Doctor Strange 2, he will have flipped around, and together they will.
Of the living sorcerers in the MCU right now, he's the third most powerful, maybe fourth most powerful after Agnes. Mordo?
Well, that we know of.
Yeah. That we know of, yeah.
Yeah, the Ancient One, she's passed. So
the Ancient gone.
Nice. Yeah, I guess he is. Strange, we know. Yeah.
And then either Mordo or Agnes. There's 3 and 4.
Yeah, but again, that rings about your horse that you your horse that came fourth today in a 4-horse race.
Yeah,
we only know 4, so
exactly. Well, 5. We know 1.
Oh, if it's not Uma again, right?
No, we know Wong.
Oh, Wong. Right, yes, of course. I thought you were going to bring Uma back in. I was like, you can't let it go. You got to let it go, man. Enough's enough now.
What? The reason why, there's more to this about though. The reason why is because knowing that WandaVision, Strange 2 and Spider-Man 3 were part of a multiverse trilogy, the agreement, and I got confused when we spoke today about who this agreement with Strange were. I got it in my head, it was an agreement with Mordo. And it's not an agreement with Dormammu.
Yes.
To not attack Earth.
Yep.
Or we'd put him in a time loop.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is absolutely fantastic until, because that's what he did in
I'm assuming
Strange.
He can still do, right? He's got the Eye of Agamotto still? Because if Captain America put them all back, then...
He doesn't have the time stone, though.
No, Time Stone would have gone back to the Ancient One back in that timeline, right? Where Hulk gets it from in the first.
Suppose he does then, yeah. Suppose he does, yeah.
So he still has the Time Stone in the Eye of Agamotto.
Yeah. So
this is exactly the reason why we need people to watch this and then comment. So
yeah, just to tell us.
So we know.
Just to tell us.
Yeah, what's going on, man? Help us out.
But that then opened it up for him to attack Earth in a different multiverse, in a different universe.
Oh, that's a great shout. Yeah.
Which is why we're on Umar, which is why we're on Dottie, not just being some duffer wandering around Westview, which he turned out to be so far. and Wazuma, Dormammu's sister. Understanding what was going on, just on sidelines, helping Agatha out.
Yeah.
Understand that suddenly we've got somebody that potentially is Scarlet Witch. This could help us out. We can then attack, take it all. We can take it all.
Yeah. I'm still going to piss on your bonfire. So I can't see it, but what you did say, I love that, is that I'm going to have to rewatch it again. And again, this is something that will be screamed at for not knowing this off by heart. But he made the deal to not come back to this earth, right? Dormammu.
Correct. To this earth.
Let's be honest. This earth is I think it's different because I'm so in comic lore.
Yeah.
It is Earth 616.
Yeah.
But I believe that the MCU has its own
number.
I believe it does. I don't.
And that doesn't represent any of the comic. You're right. It's not represented in any comic.
But at the same time, the same.
It's loosely based.
It still stands. The argument still stands. Don't come back to this Earth. But you make a good point, man. There's nothing saying that he can go to Earth 616.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Why not? Okay, I won't do this one. I'm going to go to Earth 616. Yeah.
And I'll fight a Doctor Strange that in Benedict Cumberbatch and a Spider-Man that in Tom Holland. In fact, what I'll do is I'll go and fight Andrew Garfield Spider-Man.
There you go.
See, and that I did.
I'm assuming they've named that, right?
I did exactly the same thing with Doctor Strange as you did with Falcon and Winter Soldier. You got so far, and then you rewatched something, and then became so attached to that idea that everything else just made sense.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Except you haven't told me what yours were yet. And mine is completely fleshed out over a trilogy of film that opens up dark realms and multiverses. Where does yours land? Come on.
You want to know my First of all, whilst you've been chatting, I have been Googling.
Yeah.
And from what I'm reading, it is Earth 199999. So yeah, 199,999. That is the MCU Earth number. So not Earth 616. Ultimately. So, but I'm assuming then that we're saying that the Sam Raimi universe, as it's referred to as Spider-Man, but let's just say the Sam Raimi version of Spider-Man, it will be a different Earth number, and the Andrew Garfield version will be a different Earth number. And Dormammu, if they, and I really don't think they will, but if they wanted to, but there's potential that I'd have to rewatch Doctor Strange and see the exact wording, because we know that that's significant in this stuff. Looking at the
absolutely.
Looking at the Mysterio and
absolutely.
that question was thrown.